Welcome, fellow seekers, to our next Bhagavad Gita lesson. Let's start with a slow, deep breath. You can combine the mantra Om Shanti with the breath. Inhaling Om Shanti. Exhale Om Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti. This is episode number 78, entitled An Even More Enticing Form of Bondage. And I'll read 3 verses. I think we read 2 of them already from the second chapter, 42 through 44. There are those who, without real wisdom, delight in giving flowery discourses, espousing the letter of the Vedas, saying this is all that matters. With their minds full of desires, having heaven as their highest goal, they speak mostly of rites and rituals which they believe will bring pleasure and power. Those deeply attached to pleasure and power will not have the necessary discrimination and determination to fix their minds one point in the meditation and enjoy samadhi. We ended the last episode with a cliffhanger. I might try that more often to keep you coming back. If the Kama-kanda ensures me an enjoyable life here and reserves my space in heaven, then why shouldn't that be all that matters? The second section of the Vedas, called the Jnana-kanda, is made up of these dialogues called the Upanishads. They are talks between a seeker and a sage, and primarily they state that the purpose of this human birth is the attainment of liberation from all bondage. From this perspective, the pleasures and powers of heaven are just an even more enticing form of bondage. The rituals of the Kama-kanda can be used to develop a concentrated mind and prepare one for the Jnana-kanda, as long as the practitioner does not confuse the means, the rituals, for the end, samadhi. I'll read you 2 quotes. One is from one of the great disciples of Swami Shivananda, Swami Chinmayananda. Whereas the Kama-kanda of the Vedas speaks of the performance of special religious activities and rituals, the Gita is saying that all our activities should be done as a single-minded offering to the divine. And then Master Shivananda himself says, life in heaven is also transitory. After the fruits of the good actions are exhausted, one has to come back to this earth plane. Liberation or moksha can only be attained by knowledge of the self, not by performing 1,001 sacrifices. So, rituals are wonderful, but rather than focusing on using them to reach heaven, I believe that we can rest assured that if we lead a caring, thoughtful life, then between births, we're going to enjoy a retreat in some form of heavenly realm. Instead, let's put our focus on using this birth to remember that we already have within us that which is far beyond anything that heaven can offer. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.